also standing for re-election as the Whitsunday Regional Council elections on the 19th of March. Just a little bit of history on myself. I've been in local government for nearly 28 years, 13 years working for the council and 15 years as a councillor. This is my first term as mayor and I'm seeking re-election in these next local government elections. Just a little bit of history. I'm obviously married to Shane. I have 2 adult children, 4 beautiful grandchildren. We've lived in the region since 1983 and we have operated and currently own a small business in Proserpine since February 1987. So I have got business skills as well as local government skills and experience. I stood for council on the platform last time, One Region, trying to bring the council and the 2 former councils together. I started with great passion, great motivation, and I've continued to do that. My priorities have been on growing the region and trying to get more industry, more value add to existing products that we have. We're actually a very good region because we've got tourism, agriculture, aquaculture, and horticulture and mining and construction. So we're very fortunate. Over the 4 years that I've been in council, when I came in May 2012 and we brought our budget down in August 2012, by the end of the year we found we had severe financial issues, which basically determined we had say negative $8 million in the cash, we had 0 in our cash reserves, and we had a borrowing debt of $71 million. Over the so we got to December in 2012 and we couldn't afford to pay our staff. That's how dire straight we were. So in March, what I did is I went to Queensland Treasury Corporation, which is our banking group, along with our CEO and Chief Financial Officer, and we had to sit in this room and determine how we would manage council going forward. So I had to give an undertaking that I could do that job and inspire them to think that I could deliver. It was a difficult day. We were there for the whole of the day, and some of the things that we had to consider was reducing our staff by half. So we enjoyed 350 plus staff, and I decided against that because I knew that by reducing staff by half would reduce the money flow within the region, and that would be a significant impost on our community. One of the things that we left coming away that day was to introduce a $140 levy, and we introduced that on every rateable property because the overspends and different things that we had were determined from our flood damage repairs. So everyone had, contributed to that factor. We also decreased our rate discount from 10 to 5% because we needed cash flow coming in more earlier and more regularly. What we also did is we had to stop any capital work programs. Bear in mind that in just before I came in 2011, November, December, the council had contracted out 2 sewage treatment plants, 2 water treatment plants, and a main street. So it was quite frightening when we came in that these were contracted and there wasn't any money to pay for them. So that put us in a very big predicament, and we had to look at how we would keep the business going, fund those projects. So that took quite a bit of negotiation to extend those projects out, to extend the payments out to those suppliers, because the contracts had already been set in place. What we also found was that we got hit by the state and federal government with overspends on our flood damage. 2009 and 2010 were delivered in the prior local government, and we had to pay nearly $10 million on each of those back to the federal state government. What we then did is we were delivering the 2011 flood damage program, and the direction to the officers were that they were to deliver it within the scope and eligibility of those projects. And it was my direction that they never spent $1 more because we were so broke and we had all of these projects to deliver and to fund and literally no money in the bank. When I did go to QTC, we were able to get, and it's almost unheard of in local government, and I've got a little mosquito buzzing around, $10 million in emergent funding and a $15 million overdraft facility. So local governments don't operate like this, but that was the dire financial position we were in. So during the term of this council, it has taken me 3 years to get the finances back up to order, where I believe they should have been when I walked into council. So we have got cash-backed reserves of $30 million. So reserves are money that people pay when they develop things like for water, sewerage, roads, all of those things. They should be parked in that reserve and utilised when you actually deliver on that. We have cash in the bank. We have reduced our debt from 71 million. It will be 57.8 or 58 million by the 30th of June. We paid back our $10 million emergent funding, and we only had to go into our 15 million overdraft facility for a short time. All of these things have been very hard on the council. So over the term of council, I've brought down 4 budgets, and those budgets have been carried on a 4-3 vote. So that means that we haven't had the support of the 7 councillors sitting around the room during that time. So it's been difficult. A lot of our councillors have had to make the very tough, very hard decisions. But what we felt at the time was if we hadn't have, administrator would have come in and they would have then tried to get that money as quickly as possible and deliver those things. Now, last 2 budgets ago, all of the funding that we only really had available was to give each of our townships $100,000 to do an entry statement, which was something because we'd never delivered any capital works programs prior to that, other than, you know, we can't say we didn't, but we didn't put money in to replace roads or water or sewage. But we did construct the 2 sewage, the 2 water and the early Main Street. With the budget that we brought down this year, we were able to put about $2 million across the region, and it has been spread across the region on certain funding for improved capital works. Bear in mind that when we go to government now, there's a requirement that we almost have 50% of matching funding for any grants that we try and apply for. What we've been successful over the past 4 years, I received $10 million for the Bowen Developmental Road. We got an automatic weather station in Bowen. We upgraded the Argyle Park Road, which allows access from Queens Beach, Bowen to the cyclone shelter. We've got funding for the Gregory Cannon Valley Bridge, which is in the process of getting done. So we've been leveraging with these government entities, putting applications in. But prior to the last couple of years, we haven't had the ability because they've wanted some cash in kind to match the projects. And other shires are in a much better financial position that they've been able to do that. My priorities when I went into council was to run it like a business, to make it more accountable to the community. All the decisions that the council make are made in the boardroom. All of the councillors do get all of the information. Whether the councillors choose to attend the meetings, choose to attend the workshops, or choose to attend training is up to them. But I can say that it has been a tough 4 years. There's been a lot of opposition within the boardroom, not necessarily outside of the boardroom. What I've tried to encourage is economic growth and development. So one of our major projects that we've been working on for the past 3 years is our airport, taking that to an international status and a transport hub, an intermodal transport hub. This will benefit the whole region because you'll get tourism, you'll get export products in the undercarriage. What we've also looked at is sale of land to create development, and we also looked at a town planning scheme that would allow development or give more certainty to the developers and also to the community as to where they could and how they could develop. Because as you realise, when developers go out and advertise, what happens is they get a lot of comments and objections. Some of these multi-million-dollar international 5-star hotels and that, those people aren't interested in having those handbrakes. So we need to make it palatable that they can come in certain areas, and the job opportunities that will provide is enormous for our area and also growing our community. What we have delivered also, we did deliver the Whisper Bay boat ramp, which was funded by government. It's a project that's been ongoing for 8 to 10 years, and it's something that I've been passionate about. So that we saw the official opening of that happen last week, and really a great event. What we are working with, in particular concern down this area, is the boat ramps. In the last budget, I put $50,000 in to help investigate what we could do with our current island boat ramp. And we're working with TMR to see what those true costs are, because we needed to get a figure for council as to what would the road cost to build the road, what would the cost of car parking be, all of these things, because without those identified costs, we can't commit ourselves to it. But the council's very passionate in looking after the recreational people of the area. Also to bear in mind that you've got a boat ramp down here. It's not council's intention, nor has it ever been discussed, that we would decommission that or pull that out. So what you will find that there's a lot of misinformation goes around from our council. It's not necessarily accurate information. We do have a council website where our minutes go up. Our minutes actually contain what the real facts of the council are. So if ever you're confused or you think that something's happening that, you wonder why we're doing it, you can go to there, or you can also make contact with someone in council to just get that clarification, get that certainty, and understand exactly what we're doing. We have had great problems with communication, getting our message out through the paper. The press hasn't actually embraced us as much as we would have loved to have had them embrace us. But I can rest assured that we've been working very hard for the community, for the region. It is in a very sound financial position. It's ready to keep going in a direction of growing the economy and value adding to our region. And really, we can't just become ghost towns. And that's what's happening in regions when nothing's happening. We've got a lot of diversity, we've got a lot of opportunity, and we live in a very iconic region. And what we've got to keep doing is embracing as much as possible. We are the envy of many local governments because of our diversity, but you need a council that's progressive, you need a council that's going to push forward to achieve things, and not going to get bulldozed or frightened by stalling projects. So that's a bit of an overview of my role during this time. I am seeking re-election. I would love to see the airport come to fruition. We should see international charter flights coming out of the airport by after June this year, but we do need to get the transport hub happening as well, and that will value add to the whole region. So I'm happy to take any questions, and if I can't answer them, I'm happy to get back to you. So thank you, and thank you for everyone that's come. Now there's not great numbers, but I do appreciate that you've given up your time.